Well, we have some good news. They've announced exact pay dates for the next round of checks. Lawmakers have confirmed that new payments are being sent to eligible people that actually can receive the money and actually get the money actually sooner than faster. So you'll probably be getting stimulus checks sooner than we expect because Joe Biden has been talking about this and many members in Congress also want another stimulus. What I mean by this is that the Colorado residents who filed their 2021 taxes will receive some extra money thanks to a tax rebate. Taxpayers who file their returns by October will get the $750 cash Colorado back program. It's going to be sent to you by the end of this month, and so eligible couples will get $1,500. That's a lot of free money. Democratic governors have also signed a law to return money to taxpayers that actually are originally intended for the payment to be $400 for individual filers and $800 for the couples. But due to excess state revenue, the amount that recipients will receive has been largely increased. Payments scheduled for January 31st will be for state residents who filed extensions. The first round of payments was for people who had filed their taxes by June 30th and was paid to everybody by September 30th of last year, so they pretty much got free stimulus cash because the payments do differ from the Great Colorado Cashback Program, which is the ongoing program from the Department of Treasury to help the state residents locate their unclaimed property. The Colorado Cashback Program is a one-time refund of state revenue, and there is also only 4 days left for the latest round of checks. It could be well worth over $1,000. It will all be issued for a group of California residents. This middle-class tax refund has been giving recipients free cash and a lot of money since October. And all of the recipients are people who have filed their taxes. So to get this full payment of $1,000, well, married or joint filers must have an adjusted gross income of $150,000 or even less for the 2020 tax year. The smallest amount of money that one can receive from this refund will be about $200. And now today, the U.S. Department of Education, the USDE, proposed regulations that will reduce the monthly bills for certain people that are on student loans. So get your student loans and get no bills, because under the proposal, Joe Biden would overhaul one of the existing income-driven repayment plans. It's known as the revised pay-as-you-earn or repay, which caps borrowers' bills at a percentage of their discretionary income. The secretary of the system said in a statement, "We can't return to the same broken system we've had for years, because when 1 million borrowers default on their loans, a year and a snowballing interest left, millions owing more than they initially borrowed, this new repay plan would reduce the obligations by as much as half." And according to a fact sheet from the Education Department, well, a typical graduate from a 4-year public university could save around $2,000 annually under the new program. So currently the most affordable income-driven repayment plan requires borrowers to pay 10% of their discretionary income each month to the student debt. Now, this change would actually lower that ceiling to 5%. And according to experts, well, the plan should be available by July 2024. Some parts of it may be implemented sooner, some parts may not, but payment plans have been based on the student loan borrower's income date back to the mid-90s. They provide an alternative to the standard repayment plan that spreads the obligations evenly over months, and since then, Republicans and conservative groups have filed at least 6 lawsuits to try to block this from even happening, try to stop stimulus, try to stop people from getting their life back. That's really what they want. Well, the Biden administration insists that it's acting within the law, pointing out to the HEROES Act to grant the U.S. Secretary of Education the authority to make changes permanent, the authority to give people no bills, the authority to give people a good life. But now, the government agency also says that the public health crisis caused financial harm to the student loan borrowers, and that it is rightfully so that student loan debt be canceled for pretty much everybody except for the seniors and the seniors.
Well, good morning, everyone. Just 3 days ago, I was proud to sign the Protect Illinois Communities Act banning the sale and distribution of assault weapons, high-capacity magazines, and rapid-fire switches. And here we are, once again, celebrating the signing of another piece of nation-leading legislation. Last summer, when Roe v. Wade was overturned, I promised you that Illinois would take action to protect our people, to remain a beacon of hope, an island of reproductive justice. Since that day, we've seen out-of-state patients who've been denied their rights in other states coming to Illinois for abortion care. Our clinics have been doing their best to serve the people seeking to exercise their rights, but they've been overwhelmed. The U.S. Supreme Court has forced women, especially those most marginalized, to flee their home states in search of safe health care. Here in Illinois, we know we have an obligation to support and protect reproductive freedom for our residents and those who seek safe haven. And we must protect our doctors and nurses too. The right to reproductive health care has been the law of the land in Illinois and across the nation, really, for 50 years. But pro-choice advocates and elected officials knew that the right wing would try to overturn Roe. So here in Illinois, we worked together to protect reproductive rights, and we succeeded when we signed the Reproductive Health Act in 2019. Last year, the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision created new challenges. So we went back to work, and the General Assembly passed House Bill 4664, a monumental new law that further protects patients and providers who seek and deliver legal and safe reproductive health care in Illinois. To care for our own residents and also meet the needs of patients coming from other states, we are expanding our pool of providers and eliminating barriers to access by allowing birth centers to provide all reproductive care, eliminating copays for reproductive health care medication like birth control, abortive medication.
So what is this going to look like? Well, the Biden plan right now calls for $1,400 for individuals who make up to $75,000 and married couples who make up to $100,000. But Republicans say this needs to be more targeted. It has to go, they say, to the people who need it the most. So they're proposing lowering that amount from $1,400 to $1,000 for anybody making under $40,000. If you make over $50,000, well, under the Republican plan, the checks would disappear completely. Now, we heard from Maryland Republican Congressman Andy.
We finally have some breaking news around the fourth stimulus check, and now they've released a new announcement on the United States economy. Americans are finally ready to see the financial relief at the grocery store and gas stations. But lawmakers are insisting that the government set aside more stimulus for retirees and seniors, and I definitely agree because stimulus payments are necessary. Many lawmakers and economists are looking at Joe Biden's sweeping stimulus package and its impact on the country. The American Rescue Plan Act, which cost a whopping $1.9 trillion, had a slew of provisions tucked into it and help battle the fallout of the crisis and plug holes in the social safety net. One of them is the Lewis Act, and this legislation was meant to shore up the finances of multi-employer pension plans, which are responsible for providing benefits to the retirees. And before the American Rescue Plan was signed into law, many plans were in a financial crisis. Beforehand, the House Education on House Committee and Labor warned that failing plans will enable to help the people who need benefits the most and they're owed to retirees, and that the funding for this program that helped so many Americans was running low. But now, according to the White House, insurance programs are estimated to become insolvent by 2026. It leaves around millions of people without the benefits that they had accrued through their careers. And a White House fact sheet had stated that in the latest cash infusion from the rescue plan, $36 billion went to the Central States Pension Fund, safeguarding 350,000 Teamster workers and retirees, including truck drivers and warehouse workers, from cutting to their benefits.